Well, hello, hello. It is 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Welcome in, doing some math with Audrey. I am not even going to lie. For a moment there, I thought I lost my account. But I got it back. We are on. We're ready to rock and roll. I'm right here for you. Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. All right. Hopefully, everyone's doing well. Hopefully, everyone's doing a heck of a lot better than I am. Just had a scary moment. I thought I lost my account completely. All right. That would stink. All right. So, as promised, we're going to finish up. We did system of equations. We did substitution last night. So now tonight we're actually going to be doing elimination. Okay, so we're going to be eliminating. And this is a prop that everyone enjoys to do. So what is today? Today is the 25th. So we got 25th. Okay, 20, 25. How am I feeling before this lesson? Hopefully you guys are feeling a heck of a lot better than I am. I'm a little meh. Just been doing some tutoring. It's not too bad, but just feeling kind of meh right now. All right, so going right into it. So when you are eliminating, okay, you are basically, remember, our goal is to find the point of intersection, the x and y, the coordinate point. That is going to be my solution. So when we do the elimination, we're basically eliminating one of our variables so we can focus on solving for one. And then do a little substitution to find the coordinate of the other number. So let's zoom in. Hi. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. So we have 4x plus 3y equals 1 and 2x minus 3y equals 5. All right. Welcome. Thank you. So if anything, when you take a look at it, it's almost like you're doing addition or subtraction like we used to do back in the day. Right? So if you notice, always stop and just take a look. Which ones, is it the x's or the y's, have the same number but different signs? Oh, thank you for the love. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Nice. The y values. So the y values both have 3's. One's a positive 3 and one's a negative 3. So that means the y values are going to be the ones that I want to eliminate. Now, in order for us to eliminate, they need to be the same number but different signs. Meaning one's going to be positive and one's going to be negative. When we do that, we're actually going to be adding the two equations like we used to do back in the day before, letters and numbers were all involved with each other, right? So 4x plus 2x, that'll give me 6x. Positive 3 plus a negative 3 will give me 0y. I don't need to bring down the 0y because I don't need the 0 as a placeholder. But I will bring down the equals. And now it's going to be 1 plus 5, which gives me 6. So now I have 6x is equal to 6. What would x equal? So 3 plus 3 does give me 6, but right now this is a positive 3 and this is a negative 3. So a positive 3 and a negative 3, that'll give me 0. Yes, 1 straight across the board. Good, because all we had to do was divide both sides by 6. So we figured out what the x value is going to be. Now we get to pick, and this is what I always tell people. It doesn't matter which equation you use, okay? You're going to get the same answer. But I think just for today, for demonstration's sake, I'm going to plug it into both equations. So for the first equation, I got my 4, but instead of an x, I'm going to put that 1. Yeah, there we go. So the 1's going in for the x. So 4 times 1 gives me 4, plus 3y is equal to 1. So now I want to solve for y. So I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides. Positive 4 minus 4 cancels out. So it gives me 3y is equal to negative 3. Okay, yep. I know, I'm back on. And yes, Ms. Gemini, there we go. So if I divide both sides by 3, I get y is equal to negative 1. So as I mentioned, I'm just going to do this for display only, okay, just so you can see the difference. So I will use the second equation so you can see that you're going to get the same answer. Okay, so this is just for demonstration's sake only. You do not have to plug it in to both equations, just the one. So 2 times 1 gives me 2. Minus 3y is equal to 5. Now I would have to subtract the 2. The reason why, the 2 is positive, so they cancel out. Got a negative 3y is equal to 5 minus 2, which is 3. And if I divide both sides by negative 3, I get y is equal to negative 1. So hopefully this shows you that once you find one of your variables, it doesn't matter which of the two equations that you plug into, you're going to get the same answer, all right? So now let's finish it out. What is my point of intersection? What is that magical point of intersection when those two lines intersect, they cross? Sure, I can zoom out. Okay, so we have our x value, which is 1, and our y value, which is negative 1. So this is going to be my solution. All right. Okay. So how do you know that two lines are perpendicular? It's not about the point of intersection. You're going to have to figure out their slopes. And their slopes have to be opposite reciprocals. All right. Yes. So if you know anyone that is thinking about getting their GED, or if you know someone that is learning about system of equations in class now that needs assistance, go ahead and share the live. Not a problem. Thank you for the reminder. So go ahead and share the live. Early you said negative was always first. Why not here? I said negative was always first because x and y values Say negative is always first? Oh, okay, Miss C. There we go. See, this morning we were working on interval notation. This is not interval notation. We're working on systems of equations. So it's something completely different. Okay, thank you. This is different from what we did earlier. Yes. I know for a second I was like, wait, what? Okay. Yes, with the bracket. Yes, the interval notations with the brackets. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So this is completely different. All right. So when you're looking at order pairs, just like, is it Vita just mentioned, that it's always going to be your X value, then your Y value. So if you're doing order pairs, it's going to be X, then Y. Just think of the alphabet. Okay. All right. I joined late. I was a bit confused. Okay, not a problem. Not a problem. All right, so let's see if we can get another one. So if we have, let's see. Yeah, I don't want to do that just yet. Let me see. Okay, I can do this one. So if we have 4x plus 5y is equal to 9, and then we have 2x plus 5y is equal to 7. Okay. Ask a question when you're done. You can. You're my main headache. Yes, you can. You can ask me a question. All right. So if we just a tad, let me see if I slide over and slide it up a bit. All right. So which ones? Okay. So which ones am I eliminating? My X's or my Y's? Okay. Well, good luck with your geometry test tomorrow. Okay. So I have 5, I have Y's. Okay. I have Y's, I have X's, I have Y's. We have a U, which I think that's near the Y. There you go. Okay, I have my Y's. And the reason why, they both have the same number. Okay, they both have Y's and they both have the same number. So do a sine, cosine, tangent problem. I don't understand them. I'm not doing sine, cosine, and tangent problems. Just doing system of equations. There you go. So if anything, we want to eliminate our Y's. So right now, their signs are both positive. So when their signs are both positive, you're basically subtracting the two equations together. Now, I know some teachers would be like, you know what? You guys are really good with adding them together because this is exactly what happens. You would subtract the first x's perfectly fine, but then you're going to add these constants. That's not what you're supposed to do. What happens is when you subtract, you're supposed to subtract here, here, as well as here. So 4x minus 2x gives me 2x. 5 minus 5 gives me 0y. I don't need the 0 as a placeholder because I have this 2x that's on the same side of the equal sign. But now this is the part that gets people. You have to do 9 minus 7. 9 minus 7, that's 2. All right? So 2x equals 2. What would x equal? Josh, answer is 1. Yes, Josh, good. Just use Desmos, it's so much faster. But here's the thing. Oh. I have no idea. Wait, that's not even mine. Can you guys still see me? Can you put in the chat, can you guys still see me? Yes? Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to keep going because my computer all of a sudden just wanted to kick me out somewhere. So if I get kicked off, I will try to log back on. All right. So thank you. Okay. Yes, I'm definitely not. Hey, Leanne, how are you? All right. So you have to show your work. So yes, because if you tried to use Desmos, that was the whole purpose of that. First of all, sometimes when you go into a test, you don't have access to Desmos. And especially like if you're doing the ACCUPLACER, you don't have access to Desmos. Hell, you don't even have access to a calculator. They'll give you a calculator on certain problems, but once those problems are gone, you're done. So you're going to have to learn how to handle all these. So yes, your answer is going to be x is equal to 1 because they divide both sides by 2. So now, I'm going to substitute into one of the two equations. It doesn't matter which one, okay? So I'm just going to pick the first one, just over here. So I have 4 in the parentheses. I'm going to replace the x with the 1 that we just got. Continue on with my plus 5y equals 9. 4 times 1 gives me 4, plus 5y is equal to 9. We're going to subtract 4, because it's a positive 4, so they can cancel out. Now we have our 5y is equal to 5, because 9 minus 4 gives me 5. So if 5y is equal to 5, that means I'm going to divide both sides by 5. Now y is equal to 1. Oops. Slide it up a little bit. Okay. So my point of intersection is going to be what? Hey, Erica with a C, how are you? Wait, why did you? Wait, why did I would? Wait, why did I? Why did I what? Okay, got Missy saying it's 1, 1. Okay, hello, 2 scoops of chocolate. Oh, that's fun. I'm right, good. I said it too fast. Why you said it too fast? Yes. Thank you. Good. Okay. I don't understand why you made the first problem a -2. Okay, I don't understand why you made the first problem -2. Why I made the first problem. Oh, okay. So I'm not making the first problem -2. in order for these 5s to cancel out, they're both positive. So I know one of them has to be negative, the other one has to be positive. Whereas our first go round, the 3 was already positive and the other 3 was already negative, so I can add them together. But when they are the same number, same signs, you subtract. SSS. Okay? Same number, same signs, you subtract. Because that's the only way that these two can cancel out, so I can focus on the X. All right? So this is why some teachers will say, keep the top equation, so you will have your 4x plus 5y equals 9. But some teachers will say multiply that bottom equation by -1. So that means you would have a negative 2x, a negative 5y, and that would equal a negative 7. Because we're really good at adding them together than subtracting. Okay? So if you don't want to remember same number, same sign, subtract, you're going to take whatever your bottom equation is, multiply it by a -1. And the reason why you do that is so you can change all the signs in that bottom equation. So this positive 2 is now a negative 2. This positive 5y is now a negative 5y. And the positive 7 is now a negative 7. So now when I combine, right away my y's can cancel out. Then I have my 2x is equal to 2. And then you can continue on. Okay. I love how you say that. Why are you teaching for free, girl? Get your money. But also, I love it here. You are hilarious. I know. So, okay, good. Not Karen. Thank you for sharing, not Karen. I'm 27, and this is the first time I'm taking a look at math since high school. Okay, how you feeling? I know you're going to feel overwhelmed, but it's going to be okay, all right? Over here, I like to take things step by step, okay? Moving on to the next parts, okay? If you feel overwhelmed, just take a moment. If you have a question, ask it, okay? Trust me, if I get trolls, I'll just delete them. I don't care. I don't entertain all that stuff. All right. How often are you live teaching? For me, at 1 o'clock, Monday through Fridays. And my Thursdays, my evenings might have to change around because just like this young lady says, I need to pay my bills. So I'm starting to get more clients, and usually I get a huge flux in March. But I will try to be here as best I can. I know tomorrow I will not be here at 8:30. Okay, I'm not going to be here in the evening. I'm just going to be here in the morning, the early afternoon at 1 Eastern Standard Time, because I have a client at 8 o'clock. Okay. Let me see if I can rewind because I feel like I'm jumping in the middle of everyone's conversation. All right. Okay, I did answer that. So how do you decide to subtract or add the two main problems? Okay, so it's Shelley. So I like to think of it when the signs are opposite, I'm going to add. If it's the same number but different signs, I'm going to add. But when it's the same numbers, same signs, I would subtract. But since if you don't want to do this whole process, you can just multiply your bottom equation by -1, and then you could just stick to the adding. So that's just one way of doing it, Shelley. Can we keep going? Oh my God, I love algebra. Okay, sure. You're subtracting two equations. Yes, I was. Like systems. Yeah, hey, Jonah. We'll make sure I got everybody. Okay, I'm the second one. Makes sense to me. Okay, all right. Makes sense. Awesome. Next, Eric. Good job. Went back to school at 45. Well, congratulations. All right. Go get that. What is this equation for? So we are doing system of equations with elimination. Honestly, it's making sense. Good. Okay, why is it okay to multiply by -1? Well, if you want to get your signs to be opposite, one's positive and one's negative, if you multiply by a negative, remember the rule, a negative times a positive will give me a negative. That's how I was able to get this 5y as a negative 5y. All right. These were my favorite to do in algebra. Bring me back. Good. I like the second way better. All right. It's been a while since I've had some math. All right. Cool. Okay. I think we got everybody situated. All right. So let's move on. So if we have, let's say, x plus y equals 3, and 2x plus 2y equals 6. Okay. All right, so let's see. I'm glad I caught you. Oh, I'm glad you got that. Oh, that too. What happened? I'm getting my GED. I passed all the subjects except math. Okay. Trust me, I know. And it's hard, especially for the GED, and especially haven't seen it for a while. And don't forget, all the equations are not worth the same point value. Okay? If you hit hard on the algebra, like the equation of the line, even the system of equations stuff, and if you do well with the arithmetic piece, you should be able to pass it, because the equation of the line and system of equations, they're all worth 4 points. Okay? Whereas the arithmetic stuff is usually worth 1, possibly 2 points. Okay, I'm struggling with math, so this will be real help. Yes, I like the inverse way. Okay, need to relearn this even in the differential class. Okay, why is it okay? Don't forget me, I'm slow in math. Not a problem, just take your time. Okay, can you zoom out, please? Sure. Oops, zoomed in. All right. So what do you notice? What's different? Oh, never mind. Okay. Sorry, I'm like trying to catch up on all the stuff. All right. So we can do the process of elimination. Okay, what's different is this time they're not the same. I don't have the same. Okay. So basically the x's, there are different numbers. This is a 1, this is a 2, this is a 1, this is a 2. But I think I know, Noah R, what you're about to say. I get what you're saying. Yep. Because in order for me to do elimination, there is going to be times I'm going to need to multiply. Okay? I'm going to multiply by a number to make it into the same number, different signs. So if I want to, let's say I want to eliminate my y's, I can take this y and multiply it by, let's say, a -2. But I'm not just multiplying just that y. I got to multiply the whole equation by -2. And you're probably saying, well, why -2? You're going to see in a second. Okay? So now, multiply everything, including the 3, by -2. So I'll get a -2x, okay, minus 2y, because a negative times a positive is negative, equals -6. And if I put my original underneath it, I got 2x plus 2y is equal to 6. Math and pen? I'm not ready for AP classes. I know. I'm just feeling kind of risque. All right. So, yes. Okay. This is what's happening. Look what's eliminating. -2. You see why I use a -2? Because if I add these two equations together, they'll cancel out. So a negative plus a positive, same numbers, will give me 0x. Take a look here. -2 plus 2, that will also give me 0, but 0y. We do not have to put the zeros and for the x and 0y's down. Okay? 0 is a placeholder. Okay? So this whole side is 0. -6 plus 6, that's also 0. So we have a 0-0 situation. Okay? So, I think it was, what was your name? Noah. So Noah, what type of solutions do we have here? Because Noah's saying that these are exactly the same lines. Because you notice we got basically the same information, but one's positive and one's negative. Okay? So how many solutions do we have? Okay, so how many times? I got some people saying no solution. I have some people saying intersecting. I have all real numbers. Okay, I have none. I have all real numbers, which is the same person. Okay, infinitely. I think that's what Bill was saying. Okay, so undefined. Okay, so can 0 equal 0? Is that a possible situation? Is that a true statement? Can 0 equal 0? Yes. Okay, 0 can equal 0. Nothing can equal nothing. Okay, you broke, you broke. You're not broker. You just broke, right? So when 0 equals 0, that's basically saying that these two lines are exactly the same. So you have what's called infinitely many solutions. Okay? Infinitely many. Or if you want to say my double R. The double R means all real numbers. Okay? But if they ask for the solutions, you have infinitely many solutions. Okay? So every x and every y gives you the exact same thing. All right? Okay. Nothing from nothing equals nothing. Yep. It's like, you tell your kids, look, we're about to go in this store. I want you to pretend that you're blind for a second, but I know you can't take it that far, right? They're kids. They're going to still say, but when you ain't getting nothing, don't ask for nothing. But guess what? What do? Can I get this one thing? Didn't I just say? My friends and their kids, they're hilarious. And they give in every time. I'm like, shoot, that's why I don't have kids. I'm too evil. So anyway, when you basically have the same number equal to each other, sometimes it's zeros. Sometimes you might see 5 equals 5, or 10 equals 10, or 28 equals 28. If you get the same answer on both sides equal sign, it's always going to be infinitely many solutions. All right, so let's try another one. So we have 2x minus 6y equals 5. And we have 3x minus 9y equals 2. Okay, let me raise it up a little bit and shift it over so you guys can see it. So since 9th grade, good job. You got it good. I'm in AP Calculus and it's harder. Yeah, it is. Yes, this is elimination. Yes, it is. Do quadratic equations. No. Plus, I need for you to say please and thank you. What's going on with the rudeness? What's happening? Okay. Can't see. Okay, thank you. All right. What do I do here? All right. So, do we have same numbers for the x or for the y's? Do we have same numbers? Okay, I got no, 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 no. Yes, good job. So now, this is when you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. Do I want to eliminate the x's or do I want to eliminate the y's? It doesn't matter, people, because it's all going to pan out in the end. Just make a decision. Okay? So I got, it's easier. It could be the x's, it could be the y's. So we're saying x's, we're saying y's. Okay? All right? You can use x, I know. All right, we don't have to be rude about it. Use your brain. Some of us has been a while. Solve it. Okay. All right. So, right now, besides the multitudes, okay. And Joshua Reed, how are you? Yes. I know, it's kind of weird. So, if we want to, what number does 2 and 3 have in common? Yep. Yes, Bob, this is system of equations. We're doing elimination. Okay? So they have 1 in common, but they also have 6 in common. So we could multiply this top equation by 3. And to change this 3 to a 6, I'm going to multiply this bottom equation by 2. But now I want to take it a slight step further. Instead of just a 2, I'm going to make this into a negative 2. So I can get one number being positive and one number being negative. Okay? All right? So all we have to do is distributive property. So for the top equation, if you multiply everything by 3, okay, if I multiply everything by 3, what do I get as a result? Yes, this is algebra. Do you have to combine the exponents? Okay, let's take a moment. Is there any exponents? At least try to have it. Right. So you can just pick and choose to make it negative or positive. Yes, Jessica. So all you do is you pick and choose. If you want to make the 3 negative and make the 2 positive, you can do that as well. All right. Okay, just took my ACT today. Oh, so stressful. I know. I'm so sorry. Because it's just so much stuff that has to compile in one situation. Okay. Miss C, don't worry about it because we don't have any exponents to even worry about. So you don't even have to stress about that. Okay. All right. So what do I get after I distribute the 3? What do I get? All right. You're so welcome. All right. Yeah, he's going to go, so I'm fine. All right. So 3 times 2, that gives me my 6x. 3 times negative 6y gives me my negative 18y. Bring down my equals. 3 times 5, that gives me my 15. Okay, how are we feeling so far? Okay, good. All right, so now we're going to distribute the -2 to everything in its parenthesis. Good. Okay, good. You're catching on. I like that. All right, you're feeling good? You're feeling excellent. Awesome. Okay, so what do you get when you distribute your -2? Okay, it's like Algebra 1, Intro to Algebra 2. Pirate life for me. How are you? All right. Okay. So -2 times 3x, which I do see, and -6x. Good. Excellent. All right. -2 times -9y gives me a positive 18y. Hello, Lisa. Okay. And then what's the last one? So is it a +4 or a -4? I see 2 answers. Okay, so it's a -4. Good. Yes, we got to make sure we get those signs. Remember, a negative times a positive will give me a negative. All right. All right. Hey, misbehaving. I didn't see you sneak in here. All right. So now we're going to add these 2 equations together. What's wrong? Why is someone crying? I forgot. It's okay. Just make the adjustment. Guys, this is not Squid Games. Wrong answer, you know? All right, we're going to be all right. So Queen Teach says that the x and the y's are going to cancel out because 6 plus -6, that gave me 0. And -18 plus +18, that gave me 0. So on the left side of this equal sign, we got 0, right? But what's happening? That's on the left side. What's happening on the right side? What do we get? Yes. Good job, Jay. Jessica. Yes. All right, Kayla, I see you. So we got 11. So here's a silly question. Are you ready? You have 0 equals 11. Can 0 equal 11? No. Okay, 0 can't equal 11. You can't say, oh yeah, I have no money but got $11 in your pocket. Well, you could. Yeah, I do that. I'm trifling as hell. But anyway, but just say you can't have 0 and 11 at the same time. All right? So this is not infinitely many solutions. This is a no solution. So basically, if I drew these graphs out, I would have parallel lines. Okay? I would have parallel lines. Parallel lines never intersect. Okay? Just cross multiply them. You can do that because that's basically what you're doing. Okay. Would that be a -11? No, because since we're adding, it's a +15 plus a -4. So if you have $15 and you wanted to spend $4, you have $11. Okay, sure. See if I can. My Zoom is acting kind of crazy. Trying to show the whole paper. And I think we got all the way up. All right. How about a -0? Really, Spotify? Come on. Come on. See, here's my thing. The best part about me, I used to be a high school teacher. So I'm so used to, the immaturity. I'm so used to people drawing penises on their papers. I'm used to all that. So it's like, it doesn't faze me anymore. So eventually you're going to get tired of me just ignoring you. So you choose. You can stay, trying to do a little bit of math, or you can just skedaddle. All right? All right. What is this math used for in real life? Oh, when it comes to system of equations, looking at comparison shopping. That's one thing I definitely use. Like when you're dealing with prices and you're dealing with combinations. When you are putting together an event, if you're trying to pull together like your party, or maybe you're throwing a party for your friends and you want to figure out like how many hot dogs, hamburgers, how many, macaroni and cheese sandwich, like all that kinds of stuff. Like we trying to figure out how much of people is going to be there, how much of things to make sure, one, you have enough food, you have enough drinks, you have enough decor, okay, and you're not spending all kinds of craziness. So system of equations, especially for comparison, is huge. Yeah, I try to be a chill teacher. Sure, we are going to do another one. Can you give us an example using a real life scenario? Yes, because I'll be doing word problems in a second. Thank you for doing this. Not a problem. All right. So I would love to be in your class. You break it down so easily. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. I mean, that's what I just like to do. I really want to kind of get that negativity of trying to figure out how things are. Try to lessen the negativity and lessen all the foolishness. All right, so okay, we got this one. Let's say I want to make sure I did not repeat the same questions, because sometimes the way I'm set up, might put like the same question on there. You're like, Audrey, we did this already. Let's see. I don't think we did this one yet. Okay. So let me tilt a little bit so you guys can see that. Okay, so 5x plus 3y equals 6. 2x minus 4y equals 5. Is there a way to tap into my math brain? There's not that much in there, Michael. It really isn't a whole lot in there. I think usually by around this time, my brain is like, puh. You're good at taking your time explaining. Oh, well, thank you, Jessica. My own math brain. I'm telling you. Like, I don't mind. I like doing all these. It's like, especially when you guys get a lot of benefit from it. I actually like to know my own math brain. Oh. All right. Do you want me to leave you alone for this and we'll compare answers? Because I can do that. You can do that. Casey, you can do that. 1 second, not a problem. Because there's multiple things you could do. No, I'm stuck. Okay. Do you multiply the top by 4? You could. That's another way you can do. Yes. I love how you call me professor. It's hilarious. Which equation you're doing? That's going to be up to you. I got it correct. Ooh, okay. And multiply the bottom by 3. You can do that. Okay, Kayla thinks it's -2 or 2. Okay. Is that for the first equation, Kayla Kings? So we're trying to figure the number that everything goes into. You can think of that way. There's so many ways. And a lot of you guys are touching on the right ones, which is awesome. So that's the one thing you'll learn about math. There's never just one way of getting the same answer. Okay. All right. Okay. Do I have it correct? I just saw you got it correct, but I did not see what you thought it was. That didn't come through. Okay, I'm lost. Oh my God, you're awesome for connecting that. So, all right. So let's take a look. If you want to eliminate your x's, okay, you could multiply the top one by 2 or -2 and multiply the bottom one by 5 or -5. Okay. But this is what because I'm lazy, I know me, so it's not like beating myself up or anything. But I'm looking at the y's. The 3 is positive, the 4 is negative. So I don't have to worry about multiplying by a negative number. These numbers already have opposite signs. So now I want to see what number does 3 and 4 both have in common. Okay. So 3 and 4, they both have what in common? What multiple? Okay. Besides the 1, what else do they have in common? There we go. Okay, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. Yes. So if I want to make this 3 into a 12, that means I need to multiply by 4. But I got to multiply the whole equation by 4. Not just the y, the whole entire thing. So when I'm multiplying that first equation by 4, in order for me to change this 4 to a 12, or -4 to a -12, I got to multiply this whole thing by 3. Okay. Yep, this is the elimination method. Yes, we're doing that, Kenzie. All right. So let's distribute. Okay, let's distribute. All right. So you can cancel out the x's or you can cancel out the y's. You choose. You get to pick. So whenever I multiply, they have to be the same number and they need to be different signs in order for them to cancel out. So 4 times 5 gives me 20. 4 times 3y gives me plus 12y. Bring down my equals. And then 4 times 6 gives me 24. So where'd the 3 came from and where'd the 4 came from? So if I want to eliminate my y's. So if I want to eliminate my y's, The number that 3 and 4 have in common is 12. So I want to make that 3 into a 12, and I want to make this 4 into a 12. The only way I can make this 3 into a 12 is if I multiply it by 4. But I can't just multiply just that y by 4. I got to multiply the whole equation. All right? So when I multiply the whole equation, I got my 20x plus 12y equals 24. So now I have this 3 because I want to change this 4 into a 12. So that means I need to multiply it by 3. But I can't just multiply this by 3. I got to multiply the whole equation. So I'm going to distribute 3. Right? All right. Thank you. Not a problem. So 3 times 2x, that's my 6x. 3 times negative 4, that's my negative 12y, equals 3 times 5, that gives me my 15. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to cancel out the y's. Correct. That's what I'm doing. Yep, I'm trying to cancel out the y's. So now we're going to add these two equations together. Reason why I'm adding, because if I want to eliminate my y's, I have a positive 12 and a negative 12. In order for these two bad boys to cancel out, I need to be adding them. So that's gone and that's gone. So now what's left? 20 plus 6 gives me 26x. Okay, we're okay. This is where I got stuck. Okay. Now 24 plus 15. Good, Lisa. All right. No. 0, you don't need the placer. Right. Yeah, because one, I don't want to bring down the 0y, because 0 is just a placeholder. And we don't need anything because we got this 20x and that 6x combo to bring down. Okay? Yes. So now we're going to divide both sides by 26. So 26 divided by 6 gives me 1. And there's an x, so 1x or just x. And 39/26. Okay, can we divide and get an even number with 39/26? Okay. So we do get 1.5. We won't get a whole number, but we can get a decimal, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, it's perfectly fine. Right? So we got our 1.5. All right. How are we feeling? All right. So now, okay, good. Feeling good, feeling great. Good, good. Let's learn the chain rule. We're not doing that tonight. I already did that earlier today. I'm good. I love seeing people do math. Yes. Okay, after distributing that. Yes. Okay. So, after we solve for x, now you get to pick one of the two equations. Now, this is the thing. You multiplied to make these numbers bigger. Why not go back to one of the two original equations? Because your numbers are not going to be as large. So now you're going to take that 1.5 and you're going to plug it in for the x's. It doesn't matter which equation you want to use. But which one would you like for me to use? Number 1 or number 2? You can do 1 for the top one, 2 for the bottom one. It doesn't matter, but I want you to pick. Because I'm tired of picking. Okay? It's unanimous. There is no 3. All right? Okay. So, I'm going to use that first one. So that means, let me raise up a little bit. So that means we have 5. Instead of the x, we're putting in our 1.5. Then we have our plus 3y is equal 6. Okay. No problem. She's like, oh, sorry. I'm like, I know. It's that time of night. Hey, Audrey. Namesake. All right. So we have 5 times 1.5. So that gives me what? 7.5? Bring down our plus 3y equals 6. All right. So what do we do next? Okay, so subtract 3y. No, let's subtract 3y. We're trying to solve for y. Okay, we're trying to solve for y. Okay, move the 7x underneath the 6x. So we're not going to multiply. Yes, we're going to minus 7.5. Good. So if I subtract 7.5, or 7 5/10 on both sides, these are going to cancel out. And my 3y is going to be by itself on that side of the equal sign. All right? So 6 minus 7.5. Now remember that 6 is going to be positive. So 6 minus 7.5. Okay, so we have our negative 1.5. Okay, negative 1.5. Good. All right, now, yes, divide both sides by 3. So y will equal what? Okay, how'd you get 7.5? And multiply 5 times 1.5. Okay. All right. So I'm seeing some 2s, I'm seeing some negative 1/2s, I'm seeing some positive 0.5s. Okay, is our answer going to be positive or negative? Let's start there. Okay, it is going to be negative. A negative divided by a positive gives me negative. So we got that. Now, you have your 1.5 divided by 3, which does remind me of 15, but it gives me not a 0.05, that just gives me 0.5. We got to watch our decimal places. So if you said negative 0.5, or if you wanted to keep it as a negative 1/2, you can do that as well. I'm going to write the word or. So it could be either one of these two as an answer. Okay. So Marcus is taking us home. So he's saying that our x value is 1.5 and our y value is negative 0.5. So that's going to be our point of intersection. Okay. Michael, that is a tool. Okay? That's perfectly fine. You can use a calculator. Have fun with it. You know? Row reduction for this. Okay. All right. Okay. So now, let us jump in. Let's really work this brain. You know, it's a tool. That's what you gotta do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at a couple word problems. I know. Know how to do matrix? Yes, Marcus. We're just not there yet, man. Keep your panties on. I know, it's gonna happen. But you gotta understand, like, this is where I like to address everyone. Maybe I can reset the room this way. I know, there's gonna be word problems, but I'm going to break it down to you step by step, all right? So, I know I have a mixture of people that are extremely bright. I've had someone tell me they're mathematicians. I had some people that are teachers. I have some that are students. It's a mixture. Like a lot of people that haven't seen math since they were a fetus, and now they're trying to go back to school, and they're taking a class, and the teacher is like, okay, we're going to learn 5 different topics in one day, which no one's brain can handle that much capacity and change up, because we as human beings, we don't like change at all, right? So I like to have the chill approach, taking the thing step by step. If I need to step it up, you guys will tell me, hey, Audrey, we got this. Go ahead, let's move forward. Not a problem. But I don't like to leave people behind, because I know for sure how it feels. Because when I was growing up, I was told that I was never going to get this math. I should just marry rich and that's it. And now look at me. I'm a math teacher. So I had to make that decision and make that conscious effort. Like, I sucked at fractions. I sucked at word problems. But I think because of that, it helps me to break things down to almost any person, learning style whatsoever. Okay? And I'm panicking. No panicking. We're not doing it. Yep, we're not panicking whatsoever. All right? That's what I heard. Yes. Okay? So we're going to go through it step by step. It's okay. If this is too slow for you, trust me, I have so many other people I can venture and send you to, and they're just as amazing, if not better than I am. All right? So let's break this down. So we have 6 people ate dinner for $63.90. The price for adults was $16.95, and the price for children was $7.50. Determine how many adults attended the dinner. Okay? So there's a couple of things that we have to do. Okay? Some people are getting it, which is great. All right? So look at it. We have a total of 6 people. We know that we have adults, and we know we had some kiddos. But then the other part was the cost. So we know that the total cost of the dinner was $6.90. We know the adults was $16.95, and we know that the children was $7.50. So when you look at these type of problems, I'm hearing two things. I want to know the people and I want to know the price. So if I may, I'm going to use, I guess we can say A for adults and C for children. You should always have a key when you're doing math problems. So it kind of keeps up like, okay, what am I looking for? So when we do this, we have A adults plus C children, and it's a total of 6. Where the 6 came from, it's the 6 people ate dinner. Okay? So this is dealing with the people. The other equation is going to deal with the money. So the adults, their meal was $16.95. So I'm going to say $16.95 So for every adult, the price was at $16.95. Plus, now we need to know what the children. The children's meal was about $7.50. So $7.50 C. So every kid, we had to pay $7.50. And the total amount was the $63.90. Okay. How are we feeling? Okay. How are we feeling so far? Especially setting it up. Because sometimes people would be like, oh, okay, I just need 90 of this and that and blah, 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 blah. Hey, Amber, how are you? Okay. Good so far. Not so nervous now. All right, good. Just got here, Amber. All right, no problem. We're just starting up on word problems with system of equations. So this is when you can do one of two things. Okay? You can do one of two things. Either we could do what we just did with elimination by multiplying to get rid of one of our variables, or we can do what we did last night with the substitution, like solving for either A or C for the first equation and plugging it into the second equation. All right? What do you think? What do you want to do? Do you want to do elimination or substitution? Okay, I got one for sub. And if you weren't here yesterday, I could show you substitution. It's a win-win situation. Okay, sub. Which is easier. I mean, at this rate, it doesn't even matter. Okay, so we're going to do substitution. So if we want to do substitution, do they have the same amount of steps? Pretty much. So if I want to do substitution, I want to look at the ones that have either a 1 that's understood in front of the variable. So we're looking for how many adults attended the dinner. So whenever you see a word problem, always go back to the question. So if we're looking for how many adults, that means we want to solve for the adults, the A. So that means that first equation, who am I solving it for? Am I solving it for the adults or am I solving it for the children? You can do A for the adults or C for the children. Okay, so we got A, we got children. What do you think? Okay, A. Okay. So the A. All right. So if we want to know how many adults, that means we want our second equation to be solving for A. So this first equation, we're actually going to solve for C. And you're probably like, what? Yes. If I solve it for C, that means I'm going to subtract my A. So we have 6 minus A. The reason why I'm doing that is that this 6 minus A, I'm going to substitute it in for the C in the second equation. So then it looks like this. It looks like, here's my red. It looks like 1695A plus 750. Gonna put a parenthesis. Equals my 6390. So what goes inside that parenthesis is going to be my 6 minus A. So now, if you notice, the only variable that I'm going to be dealing with is A, and that is representing my adults. So I don't have to find the C and then go plugging it back in to find the A. Let's get right to it. Again, I'm lazy. Well, thank you. All right. So now, this is our next step. We're going to do our distributive property. Okay. So when I distribute, I need to know what 750 times 6. Okay, my brain is like, okay, I got it. But let me double check, because I really do not feel like being wrong. And all of a sudden have to do all this work again. No. All right, did you guys get 45 when you multiply 750 times 6? Okay, Lynn, how are you? When did you sneak in here? She's like, I was here the whole time. So 7.50 times 6. Make sure it's times. Okay, so Aurora got 45A. Well, not 45A, just 45. How are you getting 4250? Okay, so we got our 45s. All right, so here we have 45 minus 750 times A gives me my 7.50A. Then we're bringing down my equals, 6390. And since that was a positive 45, I bring down the plus, and also bring down my 1695A. Okay. How'd you get 4250? Let's see. Let's see what's going on. All right, so if I have 750, oops. Sorry, the pen's in the way. So if I have 750 times 6, I get 45. Okay. To get the answer, my mom said. Okay. All right. So now, we have our like terms. We have our 1695A minus my 750A. They're both on the same side of the equal sign. Okay, so now you can combine those two. So 1695 minus 750. What'd you guys get? Okay, Aurora got 950. Lisa, 950, 945. Good. So that means we have our 945A plus 45. Bring down my equals 6390. Okay. All right, don't round. Person that says 10, I can't read whatever that is. Okay. That's how you got. Yep, so my 1695 minus my 750. That's how I got my 945A. Yep. So now we're going to subtract the 45 on both sides. Okay, so my 945A equals what? All right, Nia, good. Hey, Joel, how are you? Yes, Aurora, good. Yep, Odd, the real Jesset, yes. Okay, make sure you're not rounding to 20. Good, Michael, good. All right, so we have our 18. And all right, what's left to do? Okay, so we want to divide both sides by my 945. So we're going to see how many adults was all of this. Yep, all this for 2 adults, and I know a lot of you guys said that early on. So we have 2 adults and 4 kiddos. All right, so to walk you through, first, A was my adults, C was my children. So I need an equation dealing with the people, and I need an equation dealing with the money. So if you want to do through substitution, this first equation, you want to solve it for C. Because when you plug this 6 minus A in for the C, the variable that you're messing with is your A's. And you want to know how many adults attended the dinner. So once I distribute the 750 to everything inside the parenthesis, that's where the 45 came from. And then the 750 times a negative A gives me negative 750A. Now, I got like terms on the same side of the equal sign. So 1695 minus 750, that's where the 945A came from. Let me make this decimal a little bit bigger. All right, bring down the 45, bring down the 6390, subtract both sides by $45. Then we got our 1890. Divide both sides by 945, and we get our answer of 2 adults. Okay. All right, how do you determine if elimination or substitution is the easiest route to solve? Good question. Even Aurora thought it was a good question. Now, and really it's not, it doesn't matter. Because even if I wanted to do elimination, I could say, all right, let me multiply this top equation by, I don't know, negative 750. And then I can cancel out my C's. You can do that and you'll still get the same answer too. So that's the one thing about system of equations. It's really what you want to do, what you want to eliminate, or what you want to substitute. Okay? So like if I wanted to, I could have said a plus, actually not a plus, a minus. Because I will just multiply basically everything up here by 750 if I wanted to. So if I wanted to multiply everything here by negative 750, I would have gotten a negative 750 A, okay, minus 750 C equals whatever 750 times will be negative. So 750, oh, my brain, I've been doing this all day. So we got 750, then the 45, but then we end with the 3. Oh, that's where you guys were getting your 42s. That makes sense now. Okay. I think that's where you guys were getting your 42s. Was that where you're getting your 42s? Well, anyway, negative 45. I'm still trying to figure out how you guys got 42 50s. I don't know what you guys were combining. Anywho, rewrite your bottom equation. So that gives you your 1695A, your plus 750C equals your 6390. When you do that and you add those two equations together, okay, when you add them together, these cancel out. Okay, then you go right back into solving. So here, I'm still going to get my 1890. I'm still going to have my A, and I'm still going to get my 945. Divide both sides by that $9.45. I still get my answer of A equals 2. So it's not so much like what will be easier. You can do substitution, you can do elimination. It's going to be a choice that's going to be up to you. Yeah, it does seem a lot shorter. But you guys want to do substitution, so I did it. And in fact, I did both. Can I see the whole question? I will try to do it. Let me see if I can slide it over about here. Okay, does that work? Oh, well, thank you. Is this linear equations? Yes, system of linear equations. Okay, this was fun. Haven't thought about systems since high school. No problem. Okay, screenshots for notes. Go ahead, knock yourself out. You got enough room? Can you see everything? All right. I'm going to try for trying to think if that was the one I wanted to try. I'm in college and this is, well, we have a hard time with math. Oh, how many 11s? Yep. And it's mostly like trying to get the word problems. Trying to get those word problems. And just like, what are you looking for? What are you trying to find? And no matter what, always go back to the question to make sure that you're answering the question. That's like the huge thing, because everyone's like, oh, I got this answer. And you circle it and you're like, that's not even where we're at. Okay. All right, one more and then we are done. Because my brain, it's been a day. It has been a day. All right, so you're selling basketball tickets. Student tickets cost $2. General admission tickets cost $3. You sell 1,957 tickets and collected $5,035. How many of each ticket were sold? So now we're not just specifying one thing. We want to know about the student tickets and the general admission tickets. So we have two things that's going on. After high school, don't get along. It's okay. We're going to walk it step by step. Okay, step by step. Now, a couple things that's jumping at me. If you notice, I'm always like either underlining or highlighting. Okay? Student tickets, $2. General admin, $3. You sell this many tickets, you collected this much money. This tells me what my two equations should be. One is going to be dealing with the tickets, and the other one is going to be dealing with the money. So, let's just keep it simple. Let's say X is going to be our student tickets. And we can say Y is going to be general admission. It's going a long time, right? That's okay. We're going to walk through it. So, like I said, the first one can be about the tickets. I'm going to hyphenate short. And the other one's going to deal with money. So we know that there's two types of tickets. There's student tickets and there's general admission, right? And how many tickets was collected? Put that in the chat. How many tickets was collected? Or was sold, I should say. Okay, so 1957. Good. So we're putting our 1957 right here. So now we're going to deal with the money. How much is student tickets? How much are the student tickets? Okay. So we got our $2. So student tickets, $2. So that is 2x. So that means $2 per student. So now, how much is the general admission tickets? Okay, good. So that's $3. So that's 3y. And then how much money was collected? Good. So 5,035. All right, excellent. So here you guys go. You created a system of equations. You see how you can see one equation is dealing with just the tickets, another equation is dealing with the money. So now our goal is we need to know how many of each ticket was sold. So we need to know what the value of X is and what the value of Y is. Now, this is when you get to pick. What do you want to solve for? Do you want to solve for the X's first, or do you want to solve for the Y's first? Okay. So we got X, 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 X. All right. Got it. All right. So we're all going for the X's. C. Okay, the X is next to the C. I got you. All right. So if I want to eliminate my X's, I got one that's a 1, and the other one's a positive 2. So 1 and 2, they have 2 in common. So I want to make this first equation, and I want to multiply by not just 2, but negative 2. Okay? I want to multiply that whole top equation by negative 2. Because when I do that, they're going to eliminate rather quickly. So negative 2x gives me negative 2x. Negative 2y gives me minus 2y. Equals, and we have a negative. What's 1957 times 2? We know it's going to be negative, but 1957, I'm at the point I cannot do mental math right now. So sorry. Times 2. Okay, y negative 2. Okay, y negative 2. How did you get that? You put negative 2 to cancel out. Yes. All right. So if I want to eliminate my x's, one has to be positive, the other one has to be negative. So I need to multiply by 2, so I got the same numbers, but I made it into a negative 2 so I can get different signs. So when it's time for me to add these two equations together, they will be eliminated. Okay? How are we feeling now? We're okay now? Okay. All right. So, okay. 3914, yes. So a negative 3,914. Okay. Is it always like that for every equation? One's negative, the other is positive? Yes. The reason why you want to eliminate, because this is what's going to happen. This bottom equation, I'm just going to rewrite it underneath. Because when I do this, I'm going to add these two equations together. So what happens? I have a negative 2x plus a positive 2x. They cancel out. Okay, do you see why I made it negative? Okay, cool. But I'm hanging in there. All right, old school. Hey, that's all right. If we were solving for the y, would it be times 3? It would be times a negative 3. So you can cancel out the 3's a lot easier. Yes, Michael. All right. So negative 2 plus 3, that gives me a 1y or just a y. Okay. So now you have your 5,035 minus your 3,914. What do you get as a result? Yes. So we want to add both equations. Will the answer turn out the same whether you start with the x or y? It will eventually turn out the same. Yes, for the x's and y's, yes. So a positive 1,121. Okay. What does that mean? Because we got a y equals 1,121. 1,121 what? General tickets. Good. Dollars for, it's not dollars, but it's the tickets. Remember, my y is general admission tickets. So we found that they sold 1,121 general admission tickets. Okay. So if we sold 1,121 general admission tickets, how many were student tickets? How will we find that? Where from? Oh, when I multiplied -2 times 1957, that's where the -3,914 came from. Okay, gotta do distributive property. All right. All right. How did you get your 836? Yes, you can do that. There we go. Remember, we sold 1,957 tickets. I know that 1,121 were general admission. So couldn't I just subtract those two? So we could figure out how many student tickets there were? Okay. Yep, from the total. There you go, Michael. I did the long way. But here's my thing. The real Jessit, that's perfectly fine. And you got the same answer. Now, here's my thing. If you're ever going to do it like, say, a GED or any of those time assessments, you want to try to take those mini shortcuts as best you can. Okay? It's not really a shortcut. It's like sometimes you feel like it's just a checking. All right. Oh, Jesse T. Oh. All right, Jesse T. You're probably like, woo. It's like D nice. I don't know. That skit still cracks me up every time I turn. Jaquella. You mean Jacqueline? Oh, I did long way too, but it was more easier and simpler. Hey, that's fine. It's perfectly fine. So how are you guys feeling about this? Okay, so this is elimination, and we actually did some word problems, a couple word problems. Ron. Not a problem, Miss Audrey. Always a pleasure. At least we got the answer. Yay! Yeah, we did. Had a couple of hiccups with some people in here, but you know. See what happens. After you ignore them, they just kind of venture out. They get bored. So. Do you teach every night? Not every night. Not every night. It's I'm gonna have to change my schedule. Because I have to be honest with you, it's either I'm going to have to ask for donations or I'm going to have to like get new clients because, you know, it's something called life that I have to take care of. But the reason why I came on here to do these lives is to empower people, especially like, you know, parents that are going to be helping their kids with their homeworks. And sometimes they just feel intimidated with the math, and then all of a sudden they're putting their insecurities onto their kids. And I want to break that cycle. You know I'm an online math tutor, and people are like, well, aren't you worried about your business going under? Oh, business is never going to go under. Never. As long as we have to keep learning math, it's never going to go under. Because people are just intimidated, And when you're intimidated, you freeze and you either fight or you flight. Okay? So, oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. Because I tried to keep it simple. One person actually told me, like, I'm not a math teacher. I'm just a teacher of math. Like, I tried to break down concepts. At first, when I heard that, I thought it was an insult, and I almost cursed her out. But, you know, God knows I'm a work in progress. I was just so angry back then. But I just tried to take it step by step, you know, and I really do. I love the confidence that I hear just by saying I feel good, confident with equations now. Like, that just boosts me up so much. But if anything, I need your help. You teach well, and I really understand all exercises. I'll follow you on your TikTok. Okay, nice. So my thing is, if you also like, these are actually pages from my book because I ran out of space because I just filled all that stuff out. If you're interested, my book is actually on Amazon, and it's a math notebook. Has a whole bunch of resources in there, and I'm actually working on another one. Trying to get something for 7th and 8th graders just to kind of help with their transformation, especially from using X to represent multiplication, my pet peeve, versus using a dot or a parenthesis. Okay, if you notice, I use parentheses a lot to represent multiplication because when you guys go into full-blown algebra, you're not going to see an X for multiplication. You're not going to see XX. You know, like, oh, 7X is not 7XX. Okay, we're not doing a video. Okay. What is the name of your book on Amazon? It's called The Ultimate Math Notebook. Not conceited at all whatsoever. But it has different covers. It's like 3 different covers, but this is the most popular one because I'm always using it. So if anything, it's the Ultimate Math Notebook. You can type in my name, Audrey Codner, which you actually see on my profile. You can type in my name and it'll take you directly there and you'll be able to see that. So it kind of gives you the whole breakdown. It gives you a space for you to write down formulas if you need to write down formulas, and then a space for you to write some steps down to help remember. In the gist of all of this, the reason why I actually have the dots is because the graphing. It makes the graphing so much easier, especially with the points. But right now, the other side, I have grid paper. So I have grid paper on one side, the dots on the other. I'm probably going to be doing all dots on a couple others, but you can pick and choose. And if you're not strong with your multiplication, I do have a factor sheet. So with the factor sheet, it goes from 1 to 200. So all the factors, if you're trying to reduce your radicals, if you're trying to reduce just fractions, you can use this, okay? So in addition to that, as soon as I can turn the page, like you got the most popular words for word problems. You got adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, equals, and inequalities. Then you also have like the rules of integers that's in here. So I tried to get as much of the reminder information as possible to kind of help through. Here I do a little bit of trig, so Pythagorean theorem, the SOHCAHTOA, and also the identities, the trig identities that's used to simplify. Then we also have volume and surface area, as well as looking at the circles with the sectors and arc length. And for those that are going to be in Algebra 2, this is coming up. If you haven't hit it already, the unit circle. Okay, so it covers like to Algebra 1 up to like little parts of pre-calculus. Okay, yes, thank you. I try to make it fun as best I can. So try to make all notebooks more interactive, and I really wanted to do a math notebook because most of the notebooks nowadays, if it's spiral notebooks, everyone keeps forgetting. Spiral notebooks is not designed to keep things for a long period of time. It's just something for you to rip out and that's it. You don't want to do math in a spiral notebook because after a while, what happens? The wire unwinds and all of a sudden it's snagging here, snagging there. Next thing you know, you're losing all your papers, right? Whereas this has a nice little boundary, so it keeps everything in. You're not ripping any pages out. Let me see. So how do you know when you use a formula? When to multiply, subtract? I think that's my problem. Okay. So that's when you're going to have to read and understand the situation. So now when it comes to studying, you got to do practice. So I always say, if you are going to study notes, you take a separate sheet of paper, right? You copy down the notes on that separate sheet of paper. You take your notes and physically take them away. And then you do all the work on that separate sheet of paper. When you're done, that's when you bring the notes back in and you do a comparison. That's how you study math. Okay, you're using your notes to help you study math. Okay, for me to just give you a blank sheet of paper and say, hey, do these problems, you're going to have some slight anxiety, especially when you're just in the early stages of it. Okay, do you have GED books too? I actually have a GED course that I'm actually putting a subscription about, and I know there's a couple people I still have to reach out to because I finally figured out there was a little quirk going on, but I figured it out, so everything's fine now. So I have like GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, and also just for remediation. So if you ever want to join up with those courses, just let me know. Just send me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Not a problem. Eye-opening years later. Yes, not a problem. And especially if you're taking your GED, remember, all of the problems are not equal the same in points, okay? There are some point values, especially anything dealing with linear equations, that's going to be huge. You really want to get at least 3 or 4 of those problems correct in order for you to pass, okay? All right. All right, perfect. Perfect. All righty. Anything else? Because I really feel like I want to pass out. Thank you so much for oh, there was a crab. Oh, thank you, Amanda. I missed it. I'll watch a replay. I'll see it. And I'm going to work on getting my replays of my lives and see if I can put them on my YouTube channel. So at least, like, if you can't make it, you can at least watch some of those. So I just got this whole TikTok, what is this thingy, the app thing, the live studio. So I really just realized, I'm like, oh, I can download all my stuff from my computer. Because for me to put anything on my phone right now, the phone will explode. It's like, I can't fit anything. It's like me trying to fit into jeans when I was 13 years old. Like, not even gonna try, right? Maybe a thigh might be able to get in there. But other than that, no, definitely not. But I'll try to put all that stuff in there. Do you make your own worksheets? Like, do you mean these lovely things? For all exercise. They were delicious. Oh, okay. That was interesting. Yes, I did create this. And this is actually a part of my book, which is a math notebook. So I just have all my notes. The reason why I have those sheets out, because I ran out of room. Because normally I wouldn't, if I had my regular notebooks, I would not write this large. But since I'm doing demonstrations for you guys, that's why I write like pretty large, so you guys can see what's going on. So yeah, this is available on Amazon. Okay. And if you ever have a teacher that says, I need for you to keep this paper in your notebooks or for your notes, you can tape it in one side on the grid side, and then you can summarize what's on that paper on the dotted side. So at least you'll have something. All right. But if you are interested in the math notebooks and you just want to get right to them, if you're interested in the courses, if you're interested in tutoring, because I do tutoring, I have a couple slots left. It's really starting to fill up because around this time, this is when everyone's like, I need a tutor. I'm like, okay, I've only been saying it all year, you need a tutor, but that's okay. Just let me know. You know, if you need like chemistry, I met an awesome lady today, Professor TK. She's here on TikTok. She is amazing. I love how she does her stuff, and her tactic is very similar to mine, which is awesome. She also gave me a couple other people's names if I can find that sheet, but if I can't, I will probably see if I can do a post or something one day soon so you can get all that information. And if you're doing like the tease test, there is another young lady that does the tease test. I think her name is Takira Lewis. I think that was her name. But if you need assistance, you need tutoring, whatever it is, you can either go to my profile. There's a link in my bio that's ACG Math Tutoring. Go ahead and fill out the information on there on the contact form, and then I'll get back to you probably tomorrow morning. I'll send you a message and we'll see when we can have a nice little chit chat. All right. Yes, Professor TK. Yeah, I talked with her this afternoon before my live, and she goes, when does she go? She goes Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do I tutor in statistics? No, but I have a guy. I got a guy. Statistics is not my thing at all whatsoever. I'm not even going to try to fake the front. I'm not going to do it. But calculus and statistics, I definitely have a guy who is very patient and he understands and he knows this stuff very well. So just reach out if you need that. I can't find it on Amazon. If anything, if you go to my profile and you go to ACG Math Tutoring, you can just go in there and scroll, and there's a link that'll take you directly to the Amazon post. So you can do that. Okay. All right. Awesome. Oh, you're taking your T's too? Good. Okay, I need help with what is that, Jackie? Is that New York? NYSTCE? Not familiar with that. Okay, good. Yeah. So Queen, if you go to my profile and you can scroll down and you'll see Ultimate Math Notebook. There's actually 2 videos of it. They'll give you like a little video tour of the book, but the link will take you directly to Amazon. Oh, the teacher's exam. Oh, okay. Oh, are you taking the praxis? Well, we call it the praxis. I don't know. So are you taking the first one, which is just the introductory, or are you taking the second one that has the academic focus? Okay, the math part? Okay. So is this the first test or the second test? I mean, we can help either way. I haven't done praxis tests in a minute. It's been a minute since I did one. I wonder how she's doing. I forgot, I need to ask her. Okay. So if anything, Jackie, just go to my profile and And when it says other, just say, the teacher's exam, and then we'll figure out a date, the second one. Okay. And we could figure out a date and a time, we can chit chat and then figure out a date and a time where we can actually meet up. Obviously, it'll be virtually. Because I'm all over the place. Right? Perfect. So, okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. It's like, I'm here to help, but at the same time, I'd rather use my abilities to see if I can help alleviate stress and help people find their goodness so they can, because we need teachers. They're acting like they don't need us, but go ahead. Let us not show up. Like everything you do, you had someone teach you. So it's hilarious. One day they'll figure it out. I don't know when. I don't know if I'll be alive to see it, but it'll be nice to see it. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap up unless you guys have any other questions. Exactly. Any other questions or comments? I can hang for like maybe 5 more minutes, but I'm not going to do any more math. Like my brain is just done. Just done. If anyone's thinking about wanting to be a tutor, I can help you with that as well. I start with my tutoring program soon, so I can get people ready for the upcoming school year. Let me do the screenshot of the last exercise. Show up. Oh, wait, hold on. The last one, which is this one. I think we can see it all. All right. Okay. Hey, Ann. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, I just feel like we can do this math. I know it's been a minute. Oh, thank you. It's been a rough day. Not a problem. So, but we can do it. We can do it. It's just going to take some practice. It's going to take a little bit of confidence. I will be here tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But I will not be here tomorrow evening. Okay? But I will be back for my evening one on Thursday. Okay? All right. I'm trying, Ann. I'm trying. I am trying. Probably have to chit-chat with you soon. I'm not sure about today because I'm like, on the verge of just be like, we're done. Did good, Pig. Did good. I know. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a very crazy couple of weeks. Very crazy couple of weeks. But tomorrow's concept at 1 p.m., what is that? We're doing inequalities and we're doing compound inequalities. And we'll do a quick refresher on interval notation. So if that sounds like something that you might like, just stop by at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, and when you're online, send us the notification to know that. Okay, when I'm online, if I knew how to do that, I would. Okay, love you too, Lisa. Have a good one. You're doing awesome. Even just the short span that you've been here, you're like really stepping it up. I love it. I love it. You got this. All right, my babes. I want everyone to have a great night, morning, afternoon. Hopefully you guys are going to be doing well. Make sure you get some rest, please. And please, please, please be safe. Just be safe. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. There's a lot of changes that's going on. But don't let these changes change who you are. Okay? Stay true to yourself. Stay focused. Go after what you want. Don't let anyone tell you or try to distract you. Okay? Yes. God bless you too. And whatever you do, just keep it. No matter what they try to take away from you, they can't take your knowledge away from you, okay? They can't take your knowledge and they can't take your heart. All right? Well, have a good evening, and I'll see you possibly tomorrow. All right, take care. Bye now.